exactly 22 years ago in 2023. No one but God knew that at 8 o'clock in the morning, 4 passenger planes from 4 different parts of the United States were hijacked by 19 terrorists and crashed into the Pentagon building, the White House, and the Twin Towers. The September 11th attack, the worst terrorist attack in history, was recorded on camera and broadcast live by almost all the major television networks. Let's analyze the whole event, the conspiracy theories and the videos, and remember this historic event. September 11, 2001. At 7:59 a.m. on Tuesday morning, a Boeing 767 American Airlines Flight 11 departed Logan International Airport in Boston bound for Los Angeles. On board were 11 crew members and 81 passengers. 5 of the passengers were hijackers, and they were led by this man, Mohamed Atta. The plane was taken over by Atta and his men 15 minutes after takeoff, and at 8:14 a.m. they diverted the plane to New York. Just then, another Boeing 767 passenger plane took off from the same airport in Boston. United Airlines Flight 175 was also en route to Los Angeles. There were 9 crew members and 56 passengers on board, and 5 of those passengers were hijackers. 6 minutes later, another plane took off from Washington. American Airlines Flight 77, a Boeing 757, had 6 crew members and 58 passengers on board. 5 of the passengers were hijackers. The plane's destination was Los Angeles. The hijackers chose to fly to the western part of the United States, so there would be no fuel problems. At 8:24 a.m., all 3 passenger planes were in the air. But only one of them, the first one to take off, had been taken over by terrorists. Atta picked up the radio to tell the passengers, pressed the wrong button, and sent a radio message to the control center. In the message, Atta said,
"We have some planes, just stay quiet and you'll be okay. We're returning to the airport."
And who's trying to call me here? American 11, are you trying to call?
Nobody move. Everything will be okay. If you try to make any move, you'll danger yourself and the airplane. Just stay quiet.
While the attackers on the first plane tried to calm the passengers by saying, "We are going back to the airport," the 4th plane took off from Newark at 8:42 p.m. There were 7 crew members and 37 passengers on board United Airlines Flight 93, a Boeing 757 bound for San Francisco. 4 of these passengers were hijackers. At 8:44 a.m., the hijackers diverted United Airlines Flight 175 to New York. At 8:46 a.m., Atlanta's hijacked Boeing 767 crashed into the north skyscraper of the World Trade Center in New York City. The plane entered the north-facing side of the tower, between floors 93 and 99. Everyone was trying to understand what was happening. Everyone was in shock. Television stopped their broadcasts and went live. One of the Twin Towers, the symbol of New York, was on fire. And no one knew that it was the second tower's turn to explode. At 8:50 a.m., the attackers also seized American Airlines Flight 77 and diverted it back towards Washington. "17 minutes later, at 9:03 a.m., United Airlines Boeing 767 Flight 175 crashed into the other tower. The plane entered the building between the 77th and 85th floors. Thus, it became clear that the plane crashes were in fact a pre-planned terrorist attack. Before the eyes of the whole world, the biggest terrorist attack in American history was taking place. Here is the footage of the second plane crash. At the time of the first attack, President Bush was meeting with children at the Emma Booker School in Florida. When the news of the crash of the first plane was given to him by his team, he remained very calm and did not react at all. No one knew it was a terrorist attack. Exactly 17 minutes later, when the second plane crashed, the US government realized that it was an attack. This news was whispered in Bush's ear by his aide. "America is under attack." Bush's reaction was much talked about at the time. Because at the moment he received the news, he continued to look at the children with a blank and cold stare, as if nothing had happened. Later he defended himself by saying, "I didn't want to scare the children." Exactly 34 minutes after the second impact, at 9:37 a.m., the third passenger plane destroyed part of the Pentagon building, the headquarters of the U.S. Department of Defense. And finally, as the fourth plane was heading towards the White House, the passengers on board attacked the hijackers when they received the news of the attack, and the plane crashed in a forest near Washington, D.C. Some people trapped in the Twin Towers in the midst of the fires did not want to die in agony, and threw themselves down, perhaps with a small hope of survival. But they fell down at about 155 miles per hour and lost their lives. A total of 2,974 people were killed in this accident. The reason why so many people died was that the Twin Towers could not withstand the impact and completely collapsed 56 minutes after the accident. Let's listen to the last 911 call made by an employee trapped in the first collapsed tower and end the video.
Alright, what's the telephone number? I'm waiting for FC to pick up. What's the telephone number you're calling? You can barely see. You can barely see there. 441-2623. 441-2623. It's on 105th floor, the northwest corner, right? Right. At number 2 World Trade Center. Right. Lady, there's 3 of us in this office. We're not ready to die, but it's getting bad. I understand, sir. We can get those all the apparatus there. I'm trying to let them know where you are. Hold on. Oh, please hurry. Fire Department 408. This is 15. Let me talk to the caller, TV. 1597. Let me talk to the caller. Where is he? He's on the line. Let me talk to him. Where's the fire, sir? There's smoke. Right there. 105, 2 power. All right, sit tight. We'll get to you as soon as we can. There's some staying up, but the smoke's really bad, man. I barely leave. That's all we can do. Where are you? What What are you guys up to? We're getting there. Doesn't feel like it, man. I got young kids. I understand that, sir. We're on the way. He's on the 105th corner, northwest corner. We hung up on it. Little operator? Yeah. Come on, man. Okay, we have everything, sir. I know you do, but it doesn't seem like it. You got lots of people up here. I understand. I know you got a lot in the building, but we're up on the top. Smoke rises, it's really big. We're on the floor, we're in a window. And then I had to barely breathe now. Can't see. Okay. Just try to hang in there. I'm going to stay with you. So you're in an air-conditioned building. What the hell happened? Okay, I'm still here. He's been trying to fight apart and trying to get to you. Doesn't feel like it. Okay, try to calm down so you can conserve your oxygen, okay? Try to... Thank God to blow you in from the left. It's really bad. It's black. It's iron. Does anybody else want to chime in here? We're young men. We're not ready to die. I understand. How the hell are you going to get my ass down? I need oxygen. They're getting to you. They have a lot of apparatus on the scene. It doesn't feel like it, lady. You get them in from all over. They get in from Jersey. I don't give a shit. Ohio. Okay, so what's your last name? Mine's Cosgrove. I must have called about a dozen times already. Cosgrove. Yeah. My wife thinks I'm alright. I called her and said I was leaving the building. I was fine, and bang! Well, I want to... Hold on. Yeah. Cherry. Fred Cherry, you said, right? Yeah. Fred Cherry's next to me. 105. Whose office? John Astro's office. That's what you said. That's the office. We're in John Astro's office. OST. A-R-U. A-R-U. Right, that's the office we're in. There's three of us in here. O-S-T-A-R-U. O-S-T-A-R-U. Hello? Hello? We're looking at the financial center. The three of us, two broken windows. Oh, God! Ah!
Can you absolutely imagine the absolute sheer terror that Mr. Cosgrove was going through as the towers crashed? That is absolutely one of the most horrific phone calls I have ever listened to in my life. I can only pray that this man did not suffer and it was a quick death. This is the grave of Mr. Cosgrove.